What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another transfer show ahead of, well, the biggest game of our season, but we will preview that on Saturday, the day before we actually play Venezia. This is about Modric, another free agent, 40 years old of age, excuse me. You might say finished, washed, but the talk is about getting experience in this squad. And after the club said no to Kevin De Bruyne, basically, which we're also going to talk about in this video, a new quote-unquote opportunity pops up. Or is it not an opportunity? Is it something we should keep miles away from? Because that should not be our focus. Other areas, other players, other type of profiles should be our profile. However, I'm going to make a case as of why a profile like him, not him, a profile like him is, in my opinion, vital for this team, no matter who the coach is going to be. But that's not all. A big update on SAVONA and actually CONTE, all but basically confirming that he's going to leave Napoli in the summer, or he's dressing it up in some sublime way I've never seen before. Before we get into it, smash the like button. Let's get to at least 100 likes. Should be easy. We're reaching our goals, and it's helping the channel off massively. And it's very simple to do. So do that, and then we'll talk about Modric first. Okay, so Modric, I think everybody saw the story. He's leaving Real Madrid, 40 years of age, not played much this season. But we talked about experience. This team lacks experience. This team lacks leaders who have won things. This team has no real leaders. And if you think Gatti is a leader, or Locatelli is a leader, or whoever, are portrayed as leaders of this team, even if they might be leaders, they have not won enough. They've not been there. And this team is full of them. It's a young squad. It's going to make mistakes, so on, but we need experience. I look at Arsenal, for example, also a young squad, so close to winning stuff, but not getting over the line because, in my opinion, they lack experienced players who have done it, who have been there and won stuff, And that doesn't need to be a player who needs to play week in, week out in this case. If you have a good enough squad, even if young, just a player who plays half of the games, been there, get minutes, in training. That's what we need, and still can offer something. Now, do I believe Modric wants to play for us? No, I don't think he wants to do that. If he goes, I think he's gonna chill. I think he should be chilling. If he goes, I think he will go back to a quote unquote smaller club, just to enjoy playing football on a weekly basis rather than getting half the minutes here and there. Do I think he still can do damage in Serie A? Yeah, 100%. Serie A, no doubt. I'm 100% convinced he can do fantastic in Serie A. But we're obviously not going to sign him. But in my opinion, we should be going for players who have experience. Obviously, maybe 40 years is pushing it or whatever. His age it's too old, whatever you might say. But younger, but also players who have still something to offer. De Bruyne was an example of that. The club informed he wants 10 million euros a season, 3-year deal, basically. That's a no-go for the club. The club is not willing to spend that money, 10 million euros, on a long-term contract, which is it for the club, with the injury history De Bruyne has. I don't think we are in that financial situation. I can see that point a little bit from the club, but the experience and also quality it would add to this squad is unbelievable. And I've seen the point of, but what about Locatelli and Thuram? Are you going to break that up? We play a lot of games. We play Serie A, we play the Coppa Italia, and we're going to play in Europe. Is that Champions League, Europa League, or Conference League? We will know on Sunday evening, we will know that. However, you're going to play in Europe as well, That's that. So you are going to play a lot of games. You don't need to break up anything. You're going to rotate. Like when we had Pogba, Vidal, Marquisio, Pirlo, nobody was moaning. Nobody was crying about, he's not playing enough, man. We played. We were all good. That's what we should be aspiring to. Again, not saying that our midfield is, we can compare that to that midfield, but I'm saying we had options and nobody was complaining about, Vidal is benched or Marquisio's on the bench, because the next one up was as good or even better, you might say. That is a level we should be aiming for, obviously step by step. But to take that step, we're probably going to need to do things we are looking at it, we're like, I don't really like that, but it's short term to help for the long term. That's how I'm looking at it. Again, maybe not Modric, but experienced winners who still want to play football. So let me know in the comments what do you think about that. Should we go for those type of players? Maybe you say, yeah, take Modric or whatever, but just a profile of experience and the winning mentality as well. Now, next up, Savona. The bombshell news that Man City and Liverpool were in for him, and there was always basically an agreement with the player who was willing to join. Well, Mirko Di Natale is saying that's basically not going to happen because the club is working on renewing his contract until 2030. Talks between the parties have been very positive, and there's confidence that the deal will be finalized in the coming weeks. I was not surprised. Like I said when I made the videos, unless there's a crazy offer, the club would jump on it because I believe the club believes in Savona, especially in a back three. And if we are getting Conte, well, yeah, So I was never doubtful that the club was gonna sell Savona because I think they believe in Savona. Is he the best of players? I've seen a lot of criticism. He's probably not the player people want in a modern, whatever fullback, depending again in a back three, not as a fullback. Probably not what people like to see, but I can see why coaches will value that type of player. And yeah, technically it is what it is. I think defensively he can be extremely good, focused, and sometimes it's a bit off. But then again, he came from the next gen and he was dropped into it. And I don't think he sunk, like he floated, he swam at times, but he never. I don't think he was ever so deep in it that I was like, oh my god, he's gonna lose it completely. I never had that feeling with him as well. Even he had a very bad spell at times, So I was never doubtful about that. Other news is the Conte one, because he was talking before tonight's game, and it's a title decider, and the way he was speaking, I was like that's weird to say. He was basically saying that whatever is gonna happen, I enjoyed my time. The Napoli fans, they live football and so on, and like it felt like this is it, man. No matter what's gonna happen today, I'm done. I'm out of here. And there are more and more talks that yeah, it's kind of set in stone that he's gonna leave and that he's gonna join Juve, and that's basically what it is. No matter what De Laurentiis will say, the only thing is. And it's for Conte, it's not, oh, you're getting Europa League or Conference League being Juve. He doesn't really care about that. He cares about the fact that the club tells him you're going to get that budget and you're going to get those type of players. You can do this and this with the squad. And he's like, okay, I'm jumping on to this and I'm going to take on this project, which, by the way, is, I think, more difficult than the Napoli one because the Napoli one at least had players who won the title the year before that. They had a complete drop-off because I think they felt we've done it. This is it. Never won a title in, I don't know, what was it, 30 years at the time? We've done it. Let's enjoy it. Nobody's going to really complain about it if we mess up this season. But he just revived a lot of these players who won stuff. We don't have that in that team. And we're going to rebuild again, basically. So I think it's a very tough job either way and not, set in stone that he's going to win the title because Napoli are winning the title because Conte is doing a fantastic job, obviously, but because Inter are flopping hard. There's no way Inter should be losing the title with that squad that they have and the coach they have and the experience they have to this Napoli squad. Like if Inter failed to win the title, they failed in Serie A. If they win the Champions League, obviously, but if they fail to win the Serie A title, they failed in the Serie A. They have the best squad. They have the experience. The coach has been there for a while. For Napoli to win this is just unheard of. It's like when Milan won it in the year Inter flopped again. Like those are things where like, how is that even possible that Napoli squad is winning it? Obviously because of Conte, he gets them there in that conversation and actually potentially probably winning it as well. But the fact that Inter are letting it happen with that squad is insane, and probably it's not going to happen every single year, is it? Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think about this, and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tomorrow I will speak to you for the last big preview of the Serie A. It is big. I have a lot of things to say, so be there, and then we will see each other on Sunday evening, and yeah, it's gonna be crazy either way.